Hi all, good morning. So before we proceed further, do you have any question, anyone? The topics what will we have discussed so far? Any questions? No. Okay. So I will uh, quickly recap the concepts what we have discussed so far. We have discussed about that extraction part of ETL. Extraction means what all are the different sources, how you have to get data, in which format you have to give data, what all validations you should do, and then we have loaded data into the table. We have seen all those things. I've shown you that name Microsoft SQL Server, how to load data and all those things. Then we have seen different kinds of load, full load, incremental load, truncate load. And then we have seen historical load and the current load. So any question on these topics so far, anyone? No. Last week I have discussed about different SCD, slowly changing dimension. Was that clear to everyone? I guess anyone who wants me to repeat this, shall we repeat that, or is that clear?
Uh, yes, Tanvir. Could you please repeat it once?
Okay, sure. I will repeat it because that is very important and I want you all to understand, to be clear with that. Okay. Uh, and SCD stands for slowly changing dimension. Okay. Let me start this here. SCD stands for slowly changing dimension. And this is very famous, what I can say, changing. This is very famous, very common concept in any ETL project. Okay. You go for any ETL project, you will see this term SCD. They will discuss about SCD and very important as well. So try to understand what is SCD, why the name is slowly changing dimension and all those things.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So before that, I want to give an example that we have an employee database. And in this employee database, I have suppose ID, then I have name, I have department, I have location. Have you started recording? Yeah, okay. ID is 1, 2, 3, 4. Name is suppose Abdul. John. Matthew. Department is tech, sales, HR, research. Location is Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Bangalore. So this is a small set of data I'm showing you. In this, I have ID, name, department, and location. Hope the data is clear. Okay. Suppose what happened next day, Abdul got transferred from Delhi to Calcutta. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Right?
Yes, Tanvir. Yeah.
Okay. I'm feeling some network issue, so that's what I was confused if I'm speaking to myself. Okay, so Abdul got transferred from Delhi to Calcutta. Scenario is Abdul transfer Kolkata. Okay. So Abdul is transferred from Delhi to Kolkata. Now, as a database engineer, what is your responsibility? You will keep this table as it is, or you will do some changes here? Tell me, come on. You'll keep this table as it is, or you will do some changes? Guys, you have to tell yes or no. Okay, I'm waiting. Take your time.
Yeah, yes, we need to do some changes as per the new transfer.
Okay, we have to do some changes. What changes you will do in this table?
Location.
Location, right?
change.
Because if you show this data, it means that Abdul is still in Delhi, but he has been transferred to Kolkata. So you should change the location here, right? So now this will be the updated data, and anyone, they can get an idea that, okay, Abdul is now transferred to Kolkata. So any question, any confusion here? So this is known as SCD type 1. Now, but here there is a problem in this data. Can you tell me what is the problem? Anyone?
Storing historical data. Previous data.
If from this, if I will ask you that before Kolkata, where Abdul was located, do you have that information here? No,
No.
we don't have that information, right? So in that case, what you have to do is you have to create this table, okay? And you have to create one more column. And you have to mark here Kolkata. Okay. Now from this, if I will ask you that where Abdul was located earlier, so you can tell that yes, Abdul was located in Delhi, right? But again, there is a problem in this data. Can you guys tell me what's the problem? Think and tell me, it's very simple. If I'm showing you this data, can you tell me where Abdul is located now? Where is he staying now? Delhi or Kolkata? Yes. It is not clear, right? So for that, we used to add a column which is known as flag. Or this is also known as current indicator. Different projects, they use different naming convention. So this current indicator, if it is Y, it means that record is active. Okay. And if it is N, it means that record is not active. Now from this record, can you tell me where Abdul is located now? Kolkata, right? Because for Abdul, you have two records, one with N, other with Y. So which one is active? Guys, if you're not responding, it's not making
Kolkata.
it will become very
Kolkata
difficult for me. So please reply, ask questions. Otherwise, you guys will suffer. Maybe I will not be able to cover most of the concepts. I will slip from my mind. So it's up to you. Okay. So Y means active flag. So Abdul is in Kolkata. N means that is inactive. It is not active now. So Abdul was in Delhi earlier. Now he's transferred to Kolkata. So current indicator or flag, if it is Y, it means those are the active records. Okay. So this is known as SCD type 2. Why SCD type 2? Because we are maintaining history here. that Abdul was earlier in Delhi, now he's in Kolkata. But this is known as SCD type 1. Why? Because here you are not maintaining any history. Just you are showing the latest picture. If suppose in your project, they are not interested that okay earlier where he was staying. So in that case, you have to directly update the column location. You don't have to maintain history. So they both have their own pros and cons. You cannot tell that SE type 2 is always better because it will consume more space. You see, I've insert one more record for this. So more space it is consuming. So you have to understand in your project what is the requirement. If they want to maintain history, you have to go for SED type 2. If they don't want to maintain history, you have to go for SED type 1. Any question?
Okay, then we're
No.
all the three are different tables, right? First one is base table, employee table.
First one is base table. Now suppose that Abdul got transferred from Delhi to Kolkata. So this is one technique to store the data, and this is
Okay.
another technique to store the data. If you're storing data in this format, you are just showing the latest location. You are not
Okay.
bothered about the historical location.
Hmm.
It is known as SCD type 1. If you want to show the latest and historical both, it is known as SCD type 2. Clear?
Okay, then thank you. Yeah.
No problem. But still in this table, there is something is missing. Can you think and tell me what information is missing? Think, apply.
Time,
Date.
like
Date.
Late time, good. If someone will ask me that, okay, Tanvir, where Abdul is working now, I will tell Kolkata. Okay, good. Where Abdul was working before Kolkata? Okay, he was working in Delhi. But if someone is asking me that, tell me the duration, from which duration till which duration he was working in Delhi. So do you have that information here in this table? No, that is not present here. So that is why when you have SCD type 2, you have to add this column indicator. And apart from this, you have to add one more column, that is from date and then to date. These are the very core concepts of any ETL project. You take any ETL project, this common things that will be there. Okay. Now suppose in Delhi he was staying from 1st January 2022 till 1st February 2022. So I'll mark like this. Now it is very clear cut information that 1st January 2022 till 1st February 2022, Abdul was working from Delhi location. Okay. Now he got transferred to Kolkata. So it means from 2nd February. Okay. Till what date? Till now he is working now. So in that case, we will keep the high in date, like something like 9999 or something like this. We will keep. So this means that still he is working here. Or sometime also in our project last time when I was working, we used to keep like this. This is another high in date, 12 December 12 99999. Okay, it means currently he is in Kolkata. Any question? Any question? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, there is one more concept here. This is scenario 1. Scenario 1. Now there is a second scenario. Second scenario 2. Abdul got transferred from Kolkata to Kerala. Okay. Abdul got transferred from Kolkata to Okay, this is second scenario. So if your project is working on SCD type 1, then tell me in that case, what changes you will do in this table?
Kolkata to Kerala, we will check
You
location.
will change it from Kolkata to Kerala, very simple. Okay, good. Now, if your project is working on SCD type 2, then what you will do here?
We'll add one more row.
Kolkata to Kerala, and then we will change current date to date.
Good. So we have to add one more record. Abdul, tech department. Now he is staying in Kerala. Okay. Any other changes you will do here?
Kolkata current flag, no, I think. No.
Kolkata current flag will become N, and this will be Y. Means yes or no. Okay. What about date? So this will be, suppose today he got transferred. So maybe suppose 25th August he got transferred. We'll write 25th August 2022. And then now from 26th August, he is in Kerala. High in date. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay, so here you can see we are maintaining history. Now from this table, if anyone will ask that, okay, where Abdul was located before Kerala, so he was located in Kolkata. Before Kolkata, where he was located in Delhi. Okay, and now with the help of this flag, you can tell that where currently he is located. Because suppose if this flag column is not there, from these 4 columns, it is not possible to tell where Abdul is situated currently, right? So that is why we add this flag column to indicate the active record. And the one which are in, it means these are not the active record, these are inactive. Any question?
Tanvir, in to date, why we write like that 1 to 1?
Okay. So, good question. That in to date, why you have written 12-12-999? So actually, currently Abdul is staying in Kerala. He got transferred to Kerala, but we are not sure till when he will be staying in Kerala. So that is why we used to put in to date as high end date. This is known as high end date 12-12-9999. Okay. In some projects they will write like this as well. Okay. So that depends on project to project, but generally this kind of data is used 12-12-999 because still he is. This means still he is staying here. Is it clear?
Yes, Tanvir.
Any other question?
So Tanvir,
Hmm.
how we are going to create this SCD type 2 table? So basically we need to update the table, right? Or creating a new table with the flag.
Just give me some time. I will explain
Sure.
that part. Okay?
Sure.
Just give me
Yeah,
some
sure.
time. I'll explain you that. But that is a part of data pipeline creation. That is the responsibility of data engineer. But at a very high level, I will explain you the SQL query for that.
Okay.
But I have already mentioned that data pipeline is not a part of my course because that needs a good expertise on SQL and Python at least and Unix as well. And that is totally different training course. Okay. Oh, okay. I know why I'm highlighting is you should not tell me, you should not blame me that you're not covering data pipeline, right? So consider scenario 3. Abdul from tech to HR. Okay. Now this is totally different scenario. What is this scenario? Now the department of Abdul has changed. Earlier, Abdul was working in which department? Tech department, right? Now he is working in HR department. So if I'm talking about SCD type 1, so can you tell me what I have to do here?
Change tech to HR, tech department.
Okay, I will change from tech to HR. Okay, SCD type 1, I will do this. This is very simple. In SCD type 2, what I will do? Tell me for this what I have to do.
Add a new column row with HR and all.
Okay, now try to understand here. This is little bit, there's a little bit twist here. You should be clear with this. Okay. So here the confusion is in all the previous scenarios, which column I have changed?
Location.
Location. If you see all the previous scenarios, I have changed the location column, right? Change the location. Now what I'm changing? Which column I'm changing?
Department.
Department.
And very good. Now I'm trying to change that department. Very good. Now listen very carefully. When you are creating SCD type 2, suppose your project has started and you are attending that requirement gathering call, requirement analysis call. You have a meeting with the business stakeholders, okay? And they told that you have to maintain a history of the employee table. So it means you have to create a SCD type 2, correct? Siraj, can you please go on mute? Okay. So in that case, if your client, your business stakeholder, if they are telling that I want history on employee table, okay, what they are telling? I want history on employee table. So what it means? They want SCD type 1 or SCD type 2?
SCD type 2.
SCD type.
SCD type 2. Then you have to ask a question. Then you should ask a question. That okay, fine. You want to maintain history on employee table. We will maintain history, no issue. We will maintain SCD type 2, is fine. But tell me on which column, tell me on which column you want to make history type 2. This is very important question. Whenever in your project you have to create and maintain SCD type 2 on a table, you should ask question that on which column. It means if in your project, if they are telling that we want to maintain SCD type 2 on location column, it means if the location is changing, then only they want to maintain history. Okay, I repeat. If your business stakeholders are telling, I want to maintain SCD type 2 on location column, it means if the location is changing, then only they want to maintain history. Okay. So in that case, if the department is changing, you will maintain SCD type 2 or not? No, you will not maintain, right? Because here the requirement is your business stakeholders are telling that SCD type 2 on SCD type 2 on location only. Okay. Now, Abdul got transfer from tech to HR. Which column is changing here?
Department column.
Department column. Your business stakeholder is telling you to maintain history on which column?
Location.
Location.
Location column. So you don't have to maintain history on department. So in that case, what you will do, you just copy this, okay? And which one is your active record here? Kerala is the active record, right? So in that case, instead of take, maintain HR here. That's all. Correct? Got it? So it is because in your project, they are telling to maintain history only on location. So if department will change, you will not create a new record. You will just update the latest record. Any question?
If we have to implement a CD type 2 on department means
Very good question. Now the question is that then suppose Tanveer, in my project requirement is to maintain SCD type 2 on location and department both, right? If your client is telling that either location changes or department changes, you have to maintain history. So then what you have to do is you copy this entire table, paste it here, then you have to create a new column. And mark it as HR. This will be Y, this will be N. And suppose it is changed on 27th August, you mark it as 27th August. 2022. And from 28th August, you are in HR department. So now you can see from this data that you are maintaining history on department as well. So now it is clear that this record is Y. It means currently Abdul is working for HR department and the location is Kerala. And when this was effective from? This was effective from 28th August 2022. And before this, he was working in Kerala, but in tech department. But from which time to which time? 26th August to 27th August. So this example is showing you that you are maintaining a SCD type 2 on location and department both. So whenever there is a question, the validate SCD type 2 or to maintain SCD type 2 on a particular table, you have to be clear that on which column you want SCD type 2. I have shown you both the examples. If they're telling that I want to create SCD type 2 on location column, then if department is changing, no need to create a separate record. Just update the active record. Okay. But if the question is, I want to create SCD type 2 on location and department both. So if either of them is changing, you have to change it. You have to create a new record for that. Is that clear?
yes, then clear.
Any question? Aman, do you have any question?
No, clear.
Okay.
Tanvir, if this Kerala record comes again means in SCD2, means how it will be in Kerala. If after again Mumbai will come, after that again Kerala will come in HR department means how it will be.
Okay. So I think you are telling that suppose Abdul is now in Kerala. So tomorrow he got transferred to Mumbai and again he got transferred to Kerala. Is that your question?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what we will do, we will create one more new record. Same thing, same concept is there. We will create first of all new record. Create a new record for Mumbai. This will be changed to Mumbai. Okay. This will be Y. This will be N. And we'll change the date accordingly. And then suppose after Mumbai again he got transferred to Kerala. Then again you have to create one more new record. Now this will be Kerala. And this will be Y and this will be N. And then you have to change this date as well. Is that clear?
Yes, Tanvir, clear.
So I think you are thinking from the perspective that if he is getting transferred to the same location again, so what will happen? Are you going to create a new record? So yes, we'll create a new record. So this is all about SCD type 1 and SCD type 2. Any question, anyone? No? Okay. Then you have SCD type 3. These are some of the common SCDs. And I'm almost sure 99% that those who are planning for interview. So this is a very common interview question. So I have given you with an example as well. So if someone is asking, question interview, okay, and if you give with the help of an example, no, so that gives them confidence that okay, he has worked on the project. And if you just give the definition that okay, CD type 2 is used to maintain history. Okay, so that looks like okay, you have some ready-made answer, you just have mugged up from the Google and then you are vomiting it. Okay. So it's better always to give some example with a reference, solution answer to a question with reference. Now, if you're telling this will give some impact. Oh, they have worked on a project, they have that knowledge, right? So even if you show on resume that you have 3 years, 4 years of experience, so they cannot doubt you. Okay, so that is why in interviews, so try to give answers with some justification. Don't give that ready-made definitions only. Okay. Shall I move to SRE type 3? Fine. Okay.
Yes.
Now in SRE type 3, what will happen? Let me take the example from here. SCD type 3 is simple. It's not that much complicated. SCD type 3. So this was your original data or the base table. Okay. Now what happens? Scenario 1, Abdul got transferred from Delhi to Kolkata. Okay. So what we will do in the SCD type 3, we will create a new column and mark it as 1 minute. Abdul got transferred to Kolkata. Now see how I am storing data now. So here you can see Abdul was in tech department. Previous location was Delhi. Current location is Kolkata. Okay. So for Rajesh, location has not changed. So previous and current location, they both are same. From John, location has not changed. So previous and current location, they both are same. Okay. So this is in this way, if we are maintaining data, this is known as SCD type 3. So here we are maintaining history or not. In SCD type 3, we are maintaining history or not. What do you think, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are maintaining history, right? Then tell me what is the difference between SCD type 2 and type 3? It looks like they
Type
both
3
are same.
maintain previous data.
Oh, so that we can add data as well. We can add here, no problem. If you want to add data column, no, so you can add it here. From date, then you have to date. Okay, sorry. And before proceeding, one important notice came to my mind. My next SQL batch will start from 19th of September. I'm highlighting because many of you have asked me earlier. I'm not published now on LinkedIn. I'll wait for some time and I will keep some limited seats. So most probably from my internal students, those who have taken classes of Python as a bachelor, it will be what I can say occupied. So if any one of you are planning, so you let me know. Okay, because once I'll publish on LinkedIn, then quickly the seats will be blocked. So plan accordingly. Okay. from date and to date. So similarly, if you have these dates, you can have it here. Okay, and then suppose it changes from here, second 2022, and then you can mark it 999. Okay, so you can do this here as well. No, so not this one. This date, what was the date of this? This date had not changed. This is the hiring date. For this, what will happen? When it got changed at 1st December. So we will keep this date only. So this date, from this date, we will understand that, okay, on this particular date, this change has happened. No need to mention hiring date. Now tell me, what is the difference between SCT type 2 and type 3? Overall, they both look same or not at a high level. It is also giving me the history. This is also giving me the history, right? Then what is the difference? Okay, I will show you a few more examples. Now, in this case, scenario 2. Now listen here. In scenario 2, Abdul got transferred from Kolkata to Kerala. So in this case, what will happen? The same SCD type 3, but now there will be a twist. Listen very carefully. Now Abdul got transferred from Kolkata to Kerala. Kolkata to Kerala. So now in this case, what I will do, what is the current location of Abdul? Tell me.
Kerala.
Kerala. So current location, we will mark it. He got transferred to Kerala. Okay. Okay. Before Kerala, where he was staying? Kolkata.
Kolkata.
Right? Kolkata. I'll mark it. So now I will keep this information. Now tell me, is this fine or do you have any concern with this date? Is this fine?
No, Delhi information is missing.
Good, good, Dheeraj. Good catch. If I'm showing this information, so from this information, I'm just showing that currently Abdul is in Kerala. That is correct. Okay. Then previous location is Kolkata. Before Kerala, Abdul was in Kolkata. That is also correct. But before Kolkata, where Abdul was located? Delhi. Correct. Abdul was in Delhi. But that information I'm not showing here, no? Correct? Yes. I'm not showing this information because many a times what happened, your business stakeholders or the clients, they will tell you that we are not interested in all the history. Just show me last 2 history or last 3 history or the limited history only. In that case, we will go for SCD type 3. So here they are interested only in the current location and the last location. So in this case, we will maintain only for Kerala and Kolkata. They are not bothered that before this where he was staying. Okay. But if you are maintaining SCD type 2, here they will keep a overall full track of you. Okay, so this is known as SCD type 2. But if in your project the requirement is I want only the current location and the previous location, or suppose previous location and the last location as well. Current location, last location, the previous location. It means when you are sure how many last history you want, in that case you have to go for SCD type 3. I'm not telling only 2. Suppose if they are telling I want to maintain 3 locations, so in that case you have to add one more column, the last location. But in SCD type 2, there will be a fixed format that how many locations you want. But in SCD type 2, there is no such fixed format. If again from Mumbai, he will Kerala, he will go to some other place. You see, from Kerala, he went to Mumbai. No, where? He went to Mumbai. Again, you will create a separate record for Mumbai. And then again, he went to Kerala. So in SCD type 2, you will keep on maintaining the history. But in SCD type 2, you will be having limited history as per what we have discussed with the client. So is this clear, the difference between SCD type 1, SCD type 2, and SCD type 3? Is this clear?
Yes, Tanvir, I have one doubt.
Hmm.
In SCD type 2,
Hmm.
if Abdul is transferred, how many times I can identify?
Ashikar, can you repeat your question? If Abdul is transferred?
1 minute.
Means Abdul, how many times is transferred?
Hmm.
How can I identify?
Oh, see, in SCD type 2, if suppose Abdul was in Delhi, he got transferred to Kolkata, we are maintaining a record. He transferred to Kerala, again, we are maintaining a record. Now you see here, we have shown, I think Naeem has asked that again from Abdul, he transferred from Kerala to Mumbai, again, we are maintaining a record. And again from Mumbai, he got transferred to Kerala, again, we are maintaining a record. So from this final data, you can understand that how many times he was transferred. Okay, but if you're working on SCD type 2 there, again, suppose if from Kerala he got transferred to Delhi, again you have to create a new record for that. In SCD type 2, there is no limitation. Okay. Is
Can I
that your
add
question?
another column?
Sorry, can you add?
Another column? Like one, how many times transfer 1, 2, 3, like that?
Another column you want?
Oh, yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why you will create a column? You can write a query for that. Let's select name, comma, count of location from employee by name. So if you run this query, this will tell you that each and every name, how many times the location has changed. But suppose if in your project there is a requirement that you have to show that each and every employee how many times they were located. Okay. So in that case, what you have to do is you have to add one more column. You have alter command. Using alter command, you can add a new column here and you can write this query. This query will populate the value here. So that, yes, you can achieve that.
Okay. Okay, understand. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Any other question, anyone? They should. Yeah, sir.
Could you please scroll a little bit down?
Okay, sure.
Little bit. Yeah. In the final table, Abdul has transferred on 2 locations, right? So
You're
we are maintaining.
You're talking about this table, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Tanviri.
Yeah, tell me please.
So we are maintaining the history in this table, and we have from date to date, right? That only changes, but remaining column same, right, Tanvir? Abdul Tech Delhi, like that. If it's like kind of repeating, right? So to avoid the repetition, just I'm asking.
Which column you are telling it is repeating?
The Abdul Tech, the Abdul name and department is repeated. Right?
Okay.
Just
Very
I'm
good.
asking.
No,
Sometimes we are decomposing the tables, right? It's applicable for
question.
in this technology. Yes, just.
No, it's a good question you asked. I thought of covering it at a point of time, but fine, I will cover it now. It's a good question. So, Afsar is asking question that Tanvir, this is fine. You're maintaining SRE type 2, and this is the data you are showing. You're maintaining history. Everything is fine, but his concern is that don't you think the same data you're repeating? You see, Abdul is repeated again and again. Here, department you're repeating again and again. So, that is correct. You are totally right. In that case, what we used to do is we used to create a static table. Okay. I'll write a name ID. ID 1, 2, 3, 4. John. Your concern is valid and very good. So in that case, what we should do is we will create this table in this manner. Now I have removed the name from here. Why? I have the ID. I can join this employee table with this table. Suppose this is the employee ID table. I will join this 2 table based on the employee ID. I can derive the name. So through this way, you see this name column we have removed. We have saved the space. So if you have millions of record, so you can imagine how much space you have saved. So that is good. So that we used to address like this way by creating a static table of sir. Okay.
Okay, Tanvir. So which one is recommended, Tanvir, in production? As I
If you're talking,
Mhm.
if you're talking of production, this is recommended to create as more static table as it is possible, and this is more professional way. Okay, and that is why the concept of normalization came into picture. We'll discuss in detail about this, but this
Okay.
is more professional because the redundant data, the duplicate data we have removed from here, right? And we kept separately. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Tanvir. Yeah.
No problem. So, static, we will discuss about the static table concept on the line. Many times you will see that you will be having a separate table in your project currency table. That is again a static table. Then country code table, static table. Okay. Any other question on this necessary type 1, type 2, and type 3? You should not only go with the definition, the example should be clear to you. Because in interviews, they can ask that, okay, explain with the help of an example. So you can give this is a perfect example. You can tell them that, okay, I was working on the HR database, that was the internal project, and we have implemented this kind of history type 1, type 2, and type 3. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now, I will go through the slides a little bit quickly. Tell me one thing, this slide 1 and slide 2, what this is telling you? Come on, guys, what is this slide 1 and slide 2? Something report? Right? Is telling something about report? Okay. The numbers what you're looking at this report, this is 20,000, this is 7,000, 33.90 percentage. How these numbers are getting populated here? So the data which you have extracted from source, you are refining it, you are cleaning it, you are applying the business logic, then ultimately you are loading that data in the access layer, the final layer or the target layer. From there, the Power BI developer or the reporting, the business intelligence, they come into picture. From that data, they will apply their logic, their formula, and finally they will show this dashing reports. Nowadays, you know that Power BI, Tableau is in huge demand in the market, right? So that is why data engineering role is very important, because if the quality of data is not correct, the data pipeline what they created is not correct. So even if Power BI developer will try to create dashing report, and if the numbers are not correct, that is of no use, right? So this numbers on the reports, it is coming from the data pipeline. And that is why the quality of data should be good. It should not have decay data. We should not have junk values. We should not have null values. We should not have missing values. These things are the very basic data cleaning activity in any ETL project. And that is why your ETL projects are considered as a complex project, because you have to be very careful about each and every data. Suppose here 20K by mistake, if zero is not visible here, or zero in the calculation you missed zero, this will give the number as 2K. 20K and 2K, huge difference, right? So that is why you have to be careful with each and every number. Okay, now this picture, this 1 minute. Hope my screen is visible, guys.
Yes, Tanvir. Yeah.
Now in this particular phase, data sources which I have written, the data sources can be a database, it can be legacy system. Legacy system is your old system, your file system. Okay, from there you are moving data. Now you see, if you go to the government offices, okay, so earlier they used to have a lot of files will be there, they'll be having Almira in that, they'll be having a lot of files and everything, papers will be there, right? So now slowly what they're doing, they are dumping all the data from file system to the to your database, right? So that is moving from legacy system to the database management system. And then different many other applications are there, web services are there, files are there. So all these sources, these all are the sources from where you are gathering data. And this is your extraction. You are extracting data. Okay. And then you have data loaders. You can see in this picture, plus sign, minus sign is there, some calculation is there. So this is the main task of which job profile? Can you think and tell me?
ETL developer.
Yes, ETL developers are the data engineers. They have to apply this logic, the transformation, the data cleaning. And for this, they should be very strong in Python, SQL, Unix, and they should know other tools. No, Informatica is almost not that much in, I'm not telling it is totally decommissioned, it's still in the market, but the charm of that is still not the same what we have seen almost 5 years, 7 years back. Everyone was talking about Informatica. That is why I recommend, many of you have called me earlier and you're asking about tool. That is why I recommend don't run for the tool, because tool you never know how long it will stay in the market. Try to learn the skill sets, try to understand that architecture. That doesn't change very frequently. Nowadays, we have that big data platform or we have that cloud platform. It's still at a very high level, you see, the structure is almost same. Just the tools we have changed. Okay. So that is why concentrate on the skill sets, not on the tool. So this is the data loader. This is the job of the data engineers to load the data. And this is where the data pipelines will come into picture. They will apply their expertise in creating these pipelines. Okay. And then this is your data lake. Data lake I will cover in the upcoming slides, because if I will cover now, that will create confusion. So ignore this data. So once you have this data loader, it will load data, raw data. Why it is known as raw data? Because data what you're getting from source, directly you will load into the staging layer. After that, you will clean it, mask it, and many other things you will do. So you see cleaning and all those things. Then finally, the pure data, you will load into the access layer. And from here, your Power BI, your OBI, your artificial intelligence, your machine learning, data visualization is the thing what your Power BI, your OBI, your Tableau, they will connect there. They will establish a connection with this final pure data in the access layer, and they will start showing the numbers on the report. So this is how in any ETL project it works. Any question? Okay. Now tell me one thing. If you don't have any question, I have a question here. The data what you receive from the source team, it was having some duplicate values. Okay. And finally, at the access layer here, you identify that it is having duplicate. Okay. Second scenario. In second scenario, the duplicate you identified here itself. Which one is better, scenario 1 or scenario 2?
Can you repeat once more? What is that?
You have received duplicate data from the source team. Okay. In scenario 1, when you have loaded data and finally in the target layer or the access layer, you identify that you have duplicated. Okay. That is good or bad, first of all?
Bad.
Duplicate data is bad, because if you have duplicate data in the final layer on the target layer, it will show duplicate number on the report. That is bad. Okay. Second scenario, here itself, after extracting data from the source, you identify that, okay, there is a duplicate. Okay. So which scenario is better, scenario 1 or scenario 2? Identifying duplicate
Scenario
in
two.
the beginning is better, or identifying duplicate at the last is better?
Beginning.
In the beginning.
Good. So that is why in the beginning, I have told you that you should check all these things in the beginning. Because at the last, if you have checked, there is some mistake, then you have to correct at each and every place. Again, you have to load data from stage to integration layer, from integration to access layer. Again, if you're working in testing profile, again, you have to test each and every phase. So that is why nowadays it is known as shift left. Okay, in testing world it is known as shift towards left. It means give more concentration, apply more effort towards left side, because here if you are able to find the issues very quickly, very fastly, you can save effort here. And if suppose if here you're finding issues, then you have to check at each and every layer. That is very costly. So that is why it is suggested that any tester, you should apply more effort in identifying defects at the very initial phase. Got it? Okay, now why ETL? Why we need ETL? The purpose is we want to move data from legacy system to the new system. Now you see everyone they are moving the data from Oracle to cloud. Why? Because cloud is better, the maintenance is better, the charges are a little bit less as compared to that on-premise platform. So that is why they're moving. In my last project, we are moving data from Hadoop to a Snowflake. Why? Because Snowflake is better than Hadoop. The Snowflake has better performance as compared to Hadoop, right? So that is why we need ETL system to migrate data from old system to the new system. And then business sense. Yes. In ETL, if you have data in the database, so quickly you can write query and you can understand how the business is performed. So data quality is good, meaningful information and future decisions. You can make future decisions as well if you have good quality data in the ETL. So this is the need why we need ETL, and this is again very common interview question. In the beginning, they will ask that, okay, why we should start an ETL project in our organization, how it will help us. Okay, is that clear? Any question, anyone? Okay, then different sources of data. I think we have discussed a lot about this. We have different sources of data. Nature of data can be different. Sometimes you can get data in audio format, video format, Excel file, okay, text file, organized and unorganized data. Some data can be organized, some can be organized. Structured and unstructured data. We'll discuss about this in detail, but texts are generally considered as structured data. Your audio file, your video file, your image, these are considered as unstructured data. Can you tell me why it is considered unstructured data, audio, video, image? Any idea, anyone?
Because there are a lot of variation in this format.
Good.
I'm just guessing.
No, that
Audio.
is correct. See, this is more of a discussion topic. Okay, so you should add, if you have any thought, you should share with me. Okay, and make the session interactive. Then only you will learn. Okay, because this is totally architecture you are learning, how the ETL works, the architecture. See, unstructured data means the data which you cannot store or save in the database. Audio, video files you cannot save because they don't have a specific pattern. So that is why they're known as unstructured. And you suppose right now I've shown you the example of ID, name, department, location. It is known as a structured data. Why? Because they have a pattern. If I will show you that ID is one, name is Abdul, and location is the department is tech, it means all the four columns are interrelated. They have a relation. Those kind of data are known as a structured data. It has a structure you can save in a table. Okay. So ETL means extraction data from legacy system or older system or from one database to another database. Second thing is clean the data, improve the quality, and establish a consistency. Then finally, load data in a target database at a very high level. Any ETL project has these three layers. First thing is extraction. Second point is transforming it. Once your data is transformed, clean, finally you load it into the target database. And after that, your Power BI developer, your artificial intelligence, your machine learning, they will connect to this target database and they will design their dashboards or reports. So this is your ETL staging. Next is integration. Next is your access. A staging layer is the one from where you're getting the source data from sources will directly dump here. It is known as a staging layer. Integration layer, we are applying your main business logic. Most of the business logic is applied in integration layer. So integration layer is the one. Most of the data pipelines will be there in the integration layer. And finally, once the data is done, everything is fine, then you are showing on the access layer. Any questions so far?
Yes, Tanvir, I have the one doubt.
Hmm.
Actually, pipeline, who is a great data modeler, ETL developer?
Can you repeat the question? Shikar?
Who is created pipelines? Means like data developer, sorry, ETL developer or modular means ETL model
Okay. See,
modeler.
the modular task is to design the table, that a particular table, how many columns will be there, which table which will be in which schema, and the tables, how they will be related with primary and foreign key relationship. This is the task of modeler. They will design a model, okay, the basic architecture. On top of that, the creating data pipeline to apply the transformation logic. Suppose your business is selling, I want to calculate the total assets. So for to calculate total asset, what they have to do? They have to calculate the assets at different locations. Then they have to check the movable assets, immovable assets, the cash and liabilities, the reserves. Then they have to add all these things. So this calculation is performed by the data engineer. He has to perform it. But how many tables will be there? Which table will be having which column? All the tables will be related with primary key and foreign key. All those things will be done by the data modeler. He will give you an architecture, a base. Okay.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like,
Okay,
like,
clear.
like suppose if you have to construct a house. So first of all, what you will do? You will go to an architecture or the civil engineer. They will give you a design. You will tell that, okay, I want 3 BHK or something 4 BHK. So as per your requirement, they will give a design, right? So their task is done. Their task is over. Now that design you will show to the builder. Correct now? That design you will show to the builder. Now, according to that design, your builder will start constructing. He will do the piling, then all these things he will start working on that. So the main designing that was done by that architecture, that is a data modeler. Okay, he will design it. I will architect here. They are also known as architect. Okay, and then your data engineer will come into picture. They will do the coding as per the design. And that is the task of data ETL developer or data engineers. Is that clear? Yeah.
Okay, Tanvir. How about data architects?
Oh, that is same. That is what I told. Data architect. They will design the the
Entire
table
pipeline.
structure. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
They will design it that how it should be. They will give a framework. Now,
Mhm.
how to create that framework? That has to be done by the data engineers.
Okay.
Okay. So
I have
you will.
one question.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute,
Sure.
one. So that is why you will see that once the data engineers or the ETL developers, once they will get some good maturity, once they have some good experience, then you will see they will be promoted to architect. That okay, you are not tech architect, a data architect. Okay, maybe you can check in your office organization hierarchy level. You'll see all the architects earlier. There will be some data engineers, so the ETL developers. Once they have understood the maturity, then they will be promoted as an architect. Yeah, Amar, please go ahead.
I just want a very general question is that so we have to learn, if you are not going for a data engineering profile, then we have to learn about how to create pipelines or work on it. Is it mandatory for as a data analyst if you are, or a any other profile, data scientist?
Okay. See, if you are talking about data engineer or ETL developer,
Yeah.
then for them it is necessary they should know this. Okay. If someone is fresher, if someone is from non-technical background, then they should know at least Python, SQL, and Unix. Because if you're good in this and if you're a fresher, so maybe your senior will do that, will tell you that, okay, create this pipeline. And if he will guide you, you can catch it quickly. Okay. But yes, if you have the data pipeline, how to create the data pipeline is nothing, yeah. It is just preparing logic. Suppose if I'm telling you, prepare a formula to calculate a simple interest, right? You will create a formula that, okay, select P into R into T by 100 from this table. We have to do data pipeline, simple data pipeline. So data pipeline is nothing but transforming the business requirement in the programming language. That is a data pipeline. Okay. So for data engineers, it is required, it is mandatory. That is their bread and butter, data pipeline. Okay. Data analyst, it is not required. You should only know that from which layer to which layer, how the data is moving. Okay. It is like, suppose you have to go from Delhi to Bangalore. Okay. So even if you don't know driving, but if you know the location, the path, that is fine or not, right? You will hire a driver, right? But you should know the path, that how to go from Delhi to Bangalore. Similarly, as a data analyst, you should know how the data is moving from source to staging to integration to access, what all formulas you have implemented, so that if something is not correct on the report, at least you should check that, okay, why this number is not correct. You will start doing the analysis. But if you don't know the path from where data is coming, where it is going, what all logics you have applied, then how you will find it out? Okay. So as a data analyst, it is not required to get in-depth knowledge of data pipelines. No, it is not required. But you should know very high level how it is moving. Similarly, for ETL testers, they should know that how it is moving. Business analysts, they should only know how it is moving. Okay, that is it. And data engineers, they should know each and everything. They should know each and every loop, each and every condition. They should know that. Have you answered the question, Aman?
Yeah. Thanks.
Tanvir, what is this data profiling and data quality and this one? These are done by like all mapping documents. Who will create that one?
Okay. Good question. See, what happens when a project is started? Okay, suppose in your you're starting a new project, ETL project. So what will happen? There will be very first round of discussion with the business stakeholders will be there, and the business analyst will be there. Okay. The stakeholders, they will tell their requirement that, okay, I want this kind of data. I want to generate this kind of report. We'll be having data from these all sources and all those things. Okay. And then the architect will also be there. He will design a mapping that, okay, this tables will be there, this columns will be there. So that is known as mapping sheet. In that mapping sheet, it is nothing but an Excel sheet, or sometimes it can be an MS Word document. That will give you that what all tables you have in a scope, how many columns are there, what are the data types, what are the formula. That is known as mapping sheet. Is that clear? And once that mapping sheet is created, then that mapping sheet will be circulated among all the testers, the business analysts, data analysts, data engineers. It will be circulated to everyone. And now as per that, so that will act as a Bible. Everyone will work according to that. Okay, they have to follow it and they will stick to that. So that is data, that is mapping sheet. So whenever any new ETL project will start, first of all, you will get a mapping sheet. That is the first task. That is like a roadmap. And accordingly, you have to start working in the project. Those who are working in testing profile, they have to start getting the test cases, the SQL queries. If you're working on automation, you have to start getting your automation script. Maybe if you're working on ETL, then if you're working from Python, then you have to create pandas script. So I could see that Aman, these days you are posting about pandas, right? Pandas, Python, and right, Aman?
Yeah.
So that is very interesting, and he is posting from basics and many other things I've seen. So I will request you guys that I found it very interesting, and for beginners it is very good. So you can follow him. You can miss that is very good from basic his machine. So those who want to automate using Python, because nowadays Python is there, you have to automate using Python, and the pandas is the one you should use that. So you should learn it. Okay. Any other question? No. Okay. Yeah.
Tanvir, this validation document and execution documents are same. Like, both are-
Validation document and execution document. Yeah, I'm not sure in your project in which perspective they are telling validation document and execution document. If possible, can you share me the screenshot little bit, not full screenshot? I'll get to know that what they are mentioning here. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. Now see this one here. This is again a schematic diagram. This first three boxes, what it is referring. Any idea?
Database,
Database, sources.
sources.
These three are the sources. So you can have multiple sources, right? So once you have the sources, then what you will do? You will extract data from the sources. Okay. Then what you will do? You will dump it in the staging area. Fine. And then after that, you are transforming it, and then you will load it into the data warehouse. Then again, you will apply some transformation logic. Finally, you will show this on the report. You can say this is a report. We'll show this on the report. Again, very high level importance of ETL project. This is again, I'm showing you this ETL. ETL, you can have multiple sources. You can have data in multiple sources. You have CRM, flat, flat file, unstructured data. What is ODS? I will explain down below. Okay, you're loading into that staging table. Then you are warehouse, then different data marts are there. Then you're showing on the report, and this is the end user. These are the business stakeholders, the big short guys. They will see at the report how the number is, how the business is performing. Okay, quickly I will tell you what are the data marts. Any idea, anyone, what are data marts?
Specific department is maintained.
Good, good, good. Who has answered? Afsar.
No, Shaker.
Shaker has answered.
Yeah.
Okay, Shaker. That is correct answer. Data marts are nothing but the data of a specific department. Okay. Suppose from here, I've shown you the example that I have a snack, samosa, idli, and all those things. Okay. So similarly, in your project, you'll be getting data of assets, taxes, portfolio manager, the sales, the incomes. Okay. So finally, what we do is we segregate the data. Assets data will be in one database, sales will be in another database, taxes will be in another database. Those are known as data marts. We segregate it so that if someone wants to see the assets data, he will connect to this one only. You don't have to connect here. If someone wants sales data, he will connect directly here. He will get the sales data. Okay, so that is the reason. Finally, we will segregate the data as per the department. And this is again for security purpose as well. Suppose if you don't want to show the sales data, okay, and you want to show only assets data, so you will ask him that, okay, connect to this database. Okay, and suppose in the same database you have assets and sales, so it will become difficult to maintain security. Okay, so do you see this one? From here till here it is known as ETL, and from here to here it is known as BI, business intelligence. I think few of you have asked question before I started this class that what is BI and all those things. So this is a BI, business intelligence. Here they will apply a report. Okay. Again, same thing. The different sources, dumping data and staging. We are applying different logics. We have different data marts. You see data marts, purchase data in one database, sales data in one database, inventory data in one database. Now, finally, on reports, if you want to connect to purchase only, you connect to purchase only. If you want to connect to purchase and sales both, you can connect from purchase, you can connect from sales. Okay. Okay, now this is ELT. Okay. ELT. I will start ELT from the next class because this will take good amount of time to explain. But one thing, I was taking this in the last batch. Okay. Then someone told that, sir, we are not interested in ELT. So in my session, you will see many topics that is not very specific to ETL. But why I'm teaching? Because nowadays that is adopted by most of the organizations. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about ELT. Nowadays, ELT is in there. Anyone in this group who have at least heard about ELT? I'm not asking, don't explain you what is ELT. Anyone who has heard about ELT?
Yes, I have heard it, but I don't know. Means it's a
Oh.
very popular interview question. What is the difference between
Good,
ELT and
good,
ETL?
good. Perfect. You are correct. Nowadays, this kind of questions are asked. So that is why we cannot stick to the same training platform always, because market trend is changing. Okay, so if you are ask me that, then we stick to ETL only. So next day, if you're getting interview and they ask question from ELT, so that means you have to suffer, right? So that is why don't stick to that only. You should know the left and right flavors as well. Okay, so ELT, some concepts of cloud, then data lake. These are a few new terms which I'll be discussing down the line, and I hope you guys will be interested in that. Okay. So next class I will cover this part. So I will stop here for today. And do you have any question, guys? Anyone? So far?
Tell me any one of the ELT tool.
Sorry?
Any ELT tool? Any one of the? Can you please tell me?
ELT tool you are asking.
Yes.
Okay. See, ELT tool actually, okay, first of all, let me explain the concept next class, okay? Then I will tell you that why we should have separate tool and why we should not have separate tool for ELT. Because even if you don't have separate tool for ELT, that is not a problem, because this is not a new concept. This is just one of the derivation of ETL only. Okay, so we'll discuss in the next class detail about this, that why we need ELT, how it is different from ETL and ELT, and all these things. Okay. Any other question, anyone? No. Okay, this is which week? Third week, I think, right? Fourth week. Because I need to plan this remaining topics. Any other pending? Data, this is very important. Third or fourth week, third week, I think. Okay, fine, no issues. So please revise all these concepts, keep on revising, and let's connect in the next class. We'll discuss about the CLT. Final call, any question, anyone?
Tanvir,
Good from myself.
Yeah.
what is this
Nine.
regression testing?
Regression testing, okay. I think it is in the slide. At the end, we will cover, but quickly I will answer. I think I have that regression testing 1 minute. Others quickly I will tell you. Okay, let me tell you quickly, but I have that in my regression testing, sanity testing, and smoke testing. Regression testing is like, suppose the development team, they have prepared the data pipeline, everything is done. It is now for you to test it. You tested it, okay? And there was some defect. Fine, there was some defect. You raise that defect to the data engineer that, okay, this is the defect. They found that, oh, okay, this is the real defect. They have fixed it, okay? So after they will fix it, what you will do? Tell me, as a tester.
Retesting.
You will retest it, right? Correct. But many times what happened, you have given that code to the data engineers to fix it. They have fixed it. But while fixing by mistake, they disturbed the earlier functionality which was working perfectly. Many times it happens, there is some problem in your car. You went to a shop, okay? They fix that problem. But after that, you identify that, oh, there is a new problem. By mistake, he has connected some wrong wire. It happened, no? Right? Similarly, when there's a defect, we have raised the defect data engineer, they have fixed that defect, but by mistake, some other condition they changed by mistake. So how you will confirm that it is not changed or it is working correctly? Name, tell me. So in that case, what you have to do is you will again retest all the existing functionality. Not all, but at least the major one. So this is known as regression testing. Okay. So once you have raised the defect, you should test all the previous functionalities again quickly. and not the exhaustive testing you have to do. Then you will miss the timelines. The major one you should test. And once all the defects are closed, everything is fine. Again, from starting, you should test all the functionality because it happens. You know, the coding world, you know, even if you will change one loop, you add one if condition, you remove one else condition. So you know that code will behave strange. Okay, you'll find the strange behavior. But that is why you should again test the functionality from end to end. That is known as regression testing. I think that is there in our topic. It will be there somewhere. What where it is. Okay. I
Okay,
hope it is clear.
yes, it is clear.
Okay, good. Any other question, anyone? No? Okay. Fine then, guys. Thank you. We'll connect tomorrow. Take care. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.